Anyone who's driven the long dirt road across Tickaboo Valley toward Area 51 has seen the silent sentinels off to the side, gnarly gargoyles with gangly arms uplifted, almost as a warning. Yucca brevifolia has had many names, but the one that stuck is Joshua Tree. The harsh landscapes where it grows look extraterrestrial, if not Mars, maybe Tatooine. It's closer to asparagus than a cactus, and like snowflakes, each one is different, almost humanoid.
There's a lot of native legends, creation stories for the Joshua Tree that involve them being people that were turned into trees.
Chris Clark has been writing and speaking about Joshua trees for 20 years.
Nice little woodpecker hole in there.
He's at the Desert Yeti Ranch in Pioneer Town to check out a healthy 40-acre forest owned by filmmaker Jeremy Corbell. The altitude and climate make this one of the few areas in the world where Joshua trees can still thrive. In general, though, they're in trouble.
Joshua trees are a relic of a Mojave Desert that used to be. Back before 8,000 years ago, and as the desert and the rest of the world continues to get warmer on average, they're likely to do worse and worse.
By the end of this century, about 90% of the current habitat for Joshua trees will be too hostile for them to survive. They look tough and hardy, but need a very delicate balance of conditions to propagate. The tree itself isn't very efficient at reproducing. Centuries ago, its seeds were spread by ground sloths, but they're long gone.
You know, the Joshua tree, you're not finding it down at 3,300 feet in elevation here in 29 Palms anymore. There hasn't been a lot of recruitment of new plants in the last few decades because it's been getting warmer.
As a boy, David Smith climbed the dramatic rocks in Joshua Tree National Park. Today, he's the superintendent. The 800,000-acre park is home to 1 million or more Joshua trees, along with 1,000 other unique plant and animal species that depend on the tree in one way or another. More than 2.5 million people visit the park each year. Photographers and models can't resist Joshuas as backdrops. Musicians have likewise been inspired, resulting in one of the biggest-selling albums of all time. The National Park Service has moved well beyond the question of whether climate change is real, because it's already here. Joshua trees won't disappear anytime soon. Individuals can live for hundreds of years, but human activity is already killing them off. Smog from cars deposits nitrogen in the desert soil, which causes invasive weeds to flourish, fuel for wildfires.
Now what happens, because we have so much in the way of exotic weeds inside the park, when we get lightning strikes from the monsoon season, we get fires. We get 1,000 to 5,000 acre fires inside the park in an environment where fire has never existed before. So the Joshua trees, they don't come back for centuries and centuries after they burn.
A year ago, Jeremy Corbell recorded the devastation as fire raced across the hills near his ranch, charring thousands of acres. Similar fires outside of Las Vegas in recent years have wiped out Joshua forests that will take a long time to replace. Joshua trees will survive somewhere. But like their yucca cousins in the movie Rango, they might have to somehow get up and move.
It looks bleak. It doesn't look impossible.